2 minutes. Hey guys. And if you guys want, you guys can go ahead and share this since we're live. I'll give it a couple of minutes. I know I had like 7 people confirm that just personal messages that they were going to be on. So whatever you guys can do to share, that'll be awesome. Episode 5. Episode 5. Got another minute, guys, and we'll get started. Welcome to the Lyran Connection. I am your host, Alexander John, contactee. Guys, we've got a lot to cover tonight. So, episode 4 we did, and we were, shut down 3 times? I think we were shut down. I had a bunch of people, all... all the batteries, hey VJ, she said all the batteries powered up to the max. So on our last show, we got a lot of the meat and potatoes covered. But towards the end of the show, it was actually mid-show, we were shut down many times and everyone's batteries started draining. So I don't think that's a coincidence, especially with what we're going over. Definitely an attack of some sort, probably terrestrial, probably ones who do not want us to share real contactee information. So, with that being said, in the last, so it was May 6th when we actually had episode 4, I believe. And today's the 12th. In the last 72 hours, contact has gone through the roof. But I started actually getting contact on May 7th, the following day after I did episode 4. And it's been progressing ever since. And we'll go through all of that. I have received a lot of images. I have received a lot of messages and sightings. So I have a lot of new images to share with you guys as well. Awesome stuff. All right. Here we go. Where we left off on episode 4 when we were getting shut down, we ended where on the 7th, it was actually on the 7th, I believe, where we left off. And I shared with you that first image that I received of the Soltraxi, the flagship of Lyra, over the planet, in between the Earth and the Moon. I'm still waiting for those pictures actually to arrive. That's how much contact we've had. I'm actually waiting on images to arrive, but I'll show you the image. This is that image where you actually see Bermuda. There's North America, North Carolina. That's actually looking outside the porthole window of the Soltraxi. Down at the Earth, there's the rainbow that comes off the Soltraxi with the light. And so I received that one, which you guys are aware of. But what you didn't see yet, which is an amazing cool shot. I got, remember they mentioned about the moon base? Well, I got the moon base, and they sent me that. So that's pretty cool. And some other images. We'll go through that. How you guys all doing tonight? Everyone's good? All right, this is where we're going to start off. So much to cover. So wherever the time someone jumps on or sees this, they can always go back and look. And before I actually go into it, like VJ or any of you guys, do you have any questions for me? Maybe from episode 4, because I know that we were taken off the air a few times. If you have anything that's, you were still kind of, because we kind of ended pretty abruptly, and so if you have anything, just shoot it out. I'll be looking at the comments on here, and then I'll try to do the best I can to answer. All right. With that being said, on episode 4, when we were cut out, I did send a message out, and I asked, I at 9:06 p.m. that night, I said I did a show and was shut down 3 times. And then at 11 o'clock p.m., so that same night that we were shut down, and after I asked that question at 7 o'clock, at 11 o'clock, I got a response in the 11th hour. It came in the form of Latin, and they stated, all the activities will pull past is present. Do not be afraid. Interference often depletes the altar of ion energies to the frame set. So the only thing I got out of that was, so the first sentence is, all the activities will pull past is present. That could mean a lot of different things. It says, do not be afraid, so that's pretty obvious. Don't be afraid. Interference, so we were having interference where we were taken off the air multiple times. But it says, interference often depletes the altar of ion energies to the frame set. Maybe we can go into that a little bit, but that's what it was. So I responded, so forces stop me from transmitting across the globe. So that's what I asked. And I said, and then I said, how are you doing tonight? Now, again, I ask questions right from the heart. There's no premeditated. I don't have a lot of time. I don't know, again, when that window's going to close, when we can actually, when they're going to hear me or not hear me, or if there's a delay. So I said, how are you doing tonight? Then on Friday, so that was Thursday, May 7th at night, in the 11th hour. On Friday, I didn't hear anything, so I asked, how many levels are on the Soltraxi, the flagship Soltraxi? Because we remember they told us the size of the Soltraxi, and we were trying to figure that out. It was 487 cubic meters of earth feet, and we know 3 foot and a meter. And so we were talking on before we were cut out on the episode 4. We were trying to figure out kind of like the dimensions and the depth of that flagship, which is huge. Flagship. VJ says it's always good to be courteous and show you care. Yes, exactly. So, so with that being said, with the cubic feet, I said, how many levels are on the Soltraxi? And I said, what makes the rainbow off of the Soltraxi? Because I noticed this thing. We haven't gone into this yet. A lot of the images, and I have hundreds of images, a lot of the images that I've received, a lot of them will have this rainbow effect. And like I stated in episode 1, I've even seen a rainbow ball up in the sky where I've taken a picture, and they immediately sent back from space over North Carolina the rainbow. And I can just, as a visual real quick, just to refresh your memory, it'll be easier if I just show you that what that was about real quick. Right here. So that's what I received, and this is the one with the rainbow ball. That's a picture I took, and then they responded back, the light seen from above, the world watches. That's what they told me. That's what I took in front of my house. I saw that, and there's the sun. And then this is what they sent back. This is North Carolina, the Outer Banks. There's the rainbow. There's Wilmington right down here. So, I said, what makes the rainbow off of the Soltraxi, the flagship? So they responded that evening at 10:24 p.m. It came in Latin. Actually, here we are. I gotta get used to the camera, but at least the words are, you can read it. They said, we are called to the mainland. I will be in contact. Beware of dreams. We are traveling through a flash of light. The cause of the ship is not in bulk, to be changed. So they were answering my question. So they got called to the mainland, and I was unsure if that meant like they were going to be coming back to the Earth or they're going back to Vega. So in that time frame when I did receive contact, and then they said, I will be in contact, so that's good. Beware of dreams, and I was like, beware of dreams, okay. And then we are traveling through a flash of light. The cause of the ship is not in bulk, to be changed, so maybe it morphs. I don't know. So let's find out. So, this is where I received another image. And I will show that to you right now. This is actually really cool. And I asked for this, and they delivered. So here it is. I can't wait to get the image in. It should be here any day. It's hard to see. Again, we're through the porthole. You can know the continuity with these notches. But if you actually zoom in, this is, remember they were talking about the moon base. This is a moon base. This is before they left back to the mainland. So you look at these. You could see the architectural, where it's kind of like prefab, where you've got all these windows and these almost like hallway tunnels that are running, and basically that is through the porthole as it's running back through. As they're taking off, I guess they were taking off to the mainland. They sent that image to me. And I got a couple other ones on standby just so I can share that with you. And probably what I'll do is I'll even post it on the page, and that way it's up there. You guys can take a look at that. But there's so much detail in that picture. I mean, you could actually, I always get them blown up. Like if you look behind me, you'll see the city back in Vega and stuff like that, Lyra. There's the skyscrapers and towers and stuff. But if you actually pull up these images, they're so detailed. And so it's, especially the one right over my shoulder here, right there. That's actually a close-up shot of that city. And the detail is so immense. It's amazing. So anyway, so I got that image of the moon base, which is awesome. I said, thank you for this image and information. Safe travels. Where and what is the mainland called? Thank you. Now I'm assuming things, they may be going to Vega or they may be, but I have to ask because again, I get so many different contacts. A line could be infiltrated. It could be someone else. They could be going somewhere else. And they have before in the past, many times, have gone to a moon or stopped somewhere. I've never heard them say the mainland before. That's why I'm asking. I said, what do I need to look out for in dreams? Because that was concerning to me. Because that was the first time they mentioned... dreams has been mentioned before in contact, but not from the Lyrans. I said, and so dreams put me in danger? How many beings operate that base? So the base that we were I'm all over the place. So the base that we were just talking about with the moon base that they sent me the image of, that I asked for, and they did it, even though they're not supposed to. And that goes into I'll pull that up to you so you can actually see it. So check this out. I asked, so that city in the background that you see, I asked for a close-up image of that. And they told me it was breaking laws to do it, but they still did it because of who I am. That's why. But it's this city. And that's the close-up shot of that city. You see the architecture on that? It's another one of those wow pictures of the detail. And you can tell like everything's kind of like prefab where like they put it together. But it's so intricate. But anyways, on one of them, they told me, on this one, it says right here, we got there leading to a large developer violates laws and treaties, agreements with the vast majority of the images. We must continue to have many conversations have already been cut. This sounds like it is written, is near, may save themselves for the name of instability in the city, are of your father, and the men of the city. And it goes on. We'll go down that road another time because there's so much new contact. We have to get current, and then we'll go back and go in order and stuff like that. But so, anyways, so I said to go back to the moon base picture and all that, and I'm asking questions. I said, how many beings operate that base? Are you still in the solar system? Because now I'm on May 9th. So when I was asking those other questions, we were in the 10th hour, May 9th. Now we're in the 11th hour. I'm not getting a response. Are you still in the solar system? Can you tell me a detailed history of that moon base? And does it have a name? Because I was assuming it's our moon because they were just here before they left back. Because I know we have a base off of Bermuda in the ocean for thousands of years, they have said. And now there's, I was not aware of a moon base. I knew there were bases on the moon. I knew that there are other races on the moon. I did not know that there was a Lyran base. So that's pretty cool. So I got no response. On May 10th, on Sunday, May 10th, at 9:47 a.m., I received a message. So we're talking about a day and a half before they respond. So they were traveling, so that means they went back to Vega. They say business, and we are home now, completed. Days ago, the message was sent to you now. So and I've got this in 3 different instances in the past 7 years where they've traveled, and I know exactly when they were leaving. They took a shot, or they said they're leaving right this moment, and then they picked up and they said, we just arrived. So it's always about 27, 28 hours. And I didn't get a chance to calculate it. I wanted to calculate it. We know how far away the Vega system is. We know how long they were traveling for, because it's about 27 hours each time. But the amount of what I wanted to calculate is what was the speed at which they were traveling at to get home, to be consistent with the flagship Soltraxi arriving around that time each time. So let me look on here one moment. All right. So they said business, and we are home now, completed. Days ago, the message was sent to you now. So then this is the new image. This is the next image that they sent me when they arrived back. That image is right here. It's definitely a different porthole window. I don't see the same like fixtures on the side and stuff, and it looks a little different. But there's the rainbow signature, and you can actually see outside the window. Now I know on Lyra the air is aesthetic. Everything's indoors, and they do barter food and trade, and they grow indoors. But I don't see the city here, of course. Maybe this is the other side. But I did notice one thing. If you actually look up in this top left-hand corner of the image, there appears right here, right where my finger is pointing, there appears to be like a round, maybe there's like a little base right there or something. Let me see if I can zoom in on this and then bring it up for you guys. Until those pictures arrive. Here we go. Yeah, you can see the ring. It's definitely not natural. It's definitely it doesn't look like it's natural in the landscape. It's like a ring, and there's like another one, and there's like something here. Well, anyways, that's the image that they sent me. So I said, when will you be back? Where was this image taken? This appears to be a different window. Did you land on the surface? Is this a base? May I ask what business you are conducting? Can you show me what the controls of the ship look like? Hey, it doesn't hurt to ask. Ask. What's the worst they're going to say? No? And that's what happened. So on May 10th, on Sunday at 11 p.m., they said nolum, which in Latin means no. So I don't know what I'm assuming they're saying no about the controls of the ship. A lot of times, hey, what's going on, Bobby? A lot of times they don't answer every single question, but at least I get some. But they were definitely not going to show me the controls of the ship for whatever reason. Maybe it's security, or I have no idea. So I said to them, I understand. Thank you. Can you tell me if any other planet has vegetation growing on it like Earth? That's the thing that popped into my head, because I get a lot of moons and planets that they've sent me, and there's only been like a couple that have where, whoa, what is that? Maybe is that vegetation? But a lot of times it's bases are barren or looks melted, like the ground is melted. Um, I also said at 10:55 there was a oh, here's where, okay, so now we're getting into, yeah, this was yesterday. So last night, um, not last night, it was yesterday, but 2:32 a.m. I said, can you tell me if there's any other planet that has vegetation growing on it like Earth, right? I couldn't sleep that night. And then I didn't hear anything until last night at 10:55 when I asked another question. I said, okay, so I need to explain last night before I what I said, what I'm about to tell you. I'll just tell you what I said. I said at 10:55 or last night, I said, there was a ship above my tree line close to my home. Was this you? 1 hour ago. And I said, Julius saw the ship first, west, very low, hovering, moving diagonal. Okay, so we're on our back porch. We do this every night. And I can actually show you out there. Can I flip this around? Normally, yeah, I'll just hit this real quick. So out there, there's this, that's the neighbors. There's my backyard, goes into woods and all this stuff, right? Well, we have a porch down there, and we have an umbrella and lights, and like, you know, we just go over the news, or we have a drink, or we're, you know, whatever, our normal routine. Well, to the my back was to the west, and my wife was in front of me, and she pointed, and she said, Alex, there's something right there. There. Look. So I turned around. I actually took a picture of it. It's not going to do a lot of justice because it's dark, but I mean, I'm going to show it to you. There's not a lot to see, but I'll explain in a moment. Actually, I got a video. Let me see if I have any volume on here. So that's the object, right? But then there's a fence line under here. It's right above the tree line, and it's so hard unless you're in a dark room, and even then, if you're there in person, everything looks a lot bigger. But anyways, what was happening was this thing was so low and so large, and it was right over the tree line. It was actually going diagonal, going up like this, and then it was floating over, and it was floating back this way. What is this stuff? Okay. So anyways, as that was happening, this is floating up. I turn around and I go, whoa, and I go, let me go record this. I had no idea anything else that was going on because there were other things going on until I didn't get to assess, but I'll explain in just a moment. So this thing's a couple blocks away, just above the tree line. It's too big to be a drone. There's no noise. It's either an orange, amber, a white, or it's a tinge of blue. And it stayed there. And it stayed there, and it stayed there. And it got to the point where if I moved out onto the grass, it would move a little bit, stop, and when I walked back, it would move a little bit and stop. And we were out there for another good 2 hours, at least 2 hours. It was still out there. And it wasn't like a planet or it was fixated. It was just hovering. But after a while, it's not doing anything, so you're just, okay, whatever, right? So we go inside, and Julia goes, well, why don't you ask Contact if if it was them, because that was definitely a ship. I saw it, she witnessed it, and I saw it. It was definitely a ship. So I said to them, I said, there was a ship above my tree line close to my home. Was this you? 1 hour ago. And then at 11:11, I told you that 11:11 stuff. At 11:11, they said 3 light ships watch over you in the prior light standards. So right there, I got confirmation. What? 3 light ships. I saw the one. So that night, so anyways, I said, "Am I in danger?" Because the first thing I thought about is like, okay, I've seen tons of craft and I've got it documented, but never that low, never that close to the ground, and I mean right above the tree lines. And I said it could be a one of 3 things. It's either them, it's either the Lyrans. They're like guarding me, like I'm in danger. They're about to land. Maybe I'll finally have like face to face, like, hey, come in, I'll cook you something. We'll have a drink and some food. I don't. I'm cool like that. If that was the case, or these are the bad guys, because remember in episode 4, the Lyrans came here from. They took out that reptilian that threatened me. He said he was going to kill me face when I'm in person, in the flesh, in the face. So they told me not to be afraid, and that has been dealt with. So I was like, maybe these are bad guys. Who knows, right? So after they confirmed that it was them, that it was the Lyrans, and I said, at 11:13 p.m., I said, "Am I in danger?" And I said, "Can you send me an image of one of the light ships? Who's aboard the light ship?" And I didn't get a response. So overnight, I was restless, a little bit in sleep. Even though I'm being protected now, I guess like my own secret service up there or something. They got 3 ships guarding me, right? They're watching out over me, right? So I got up at 4. I couldn't take it anymore. So at 4 a.m. I got up. I took a shower, and I went out while it was still dark. And sure enough, not only was they're still there. One was so say like here, like say like this is my house, and one was here and one was here. One was doing like a circle run like this, like, so they were always like in a triangle formation. And I was surprised that they were still there. Even with everything, I was just surprised. Like, it's never been that close to home. It has, but not like that. And then confirmation. So I said, today's the 12th, right? Yep. I said, where do the 3 light ships go during the daytime? Because that's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, the sun's coming up. I'm not going to see them because they're bright. I said, are they there, but I just can't see them? And then at 12, so 3 minutes later, they sent back a message. They said, solar energy and use it to transmit .10/waves, the synod of the scarf. So here's what it says. It says right here, let me get this pulled up. So right here, solar energy and use it to transmit .10-waves, spelled with a Z at the end, the synod, which means like it's almost like a clergy order. That's what synod means, of the scarf. So I don't know what that is. So I said, please explain in more detail. Thank you. Are you explaining communications with me, or is this explaining the light ships? So I was confused today. I didn't know what that means. I said, can you, and then of course, again, I asked, I don't care, I'm just going to ask it. So I said, can you drop off technology to me on my property? Hey, why not? What's the worst they're going to say? No? That's what happened last time with the ship controls. They told me no. But they responded, star of a, oh my goodness, I can't even say the word tonight. Variety. That's the word I'm looking for. Star of a variety of the waves of the recharge cycle through its shining. So they're talking about the star and it's shining. Okay, recharge. They were just talking about solar. So recharge cycle through its shining as the result of the planets of our manufacturers that are hidden from him in all things. So one more time. Star of a variety of the waves of the recharge cycle through its shining, as the result of the planets of our manufacturers that are hidden from him in all things. Okay? I said, do you use robots or machines to manufacture, or is it beings? I wish you could just land here at the back of my home and I could cook you food and give you drink. I would very much enjoy talking to you in person. Can you see me at any time you wish? And I asked how many people can fit inside each of the light ship. Because the size of it last night, it looked like you could fit probably 8 to 20 or 10 to 20 people in a ship. That's how big these ships look to me, because they were only a few blocks away and they were right above the tree line. It looked pretty massive. It doesn't look like that when you do a video, but like, when you pull a video away and it's bigger. But anyways, they responded today at 3:05. Never devices. Pickup has been arranged, meaning my pickup for when they told me that, and this has been ongoing. We'll go in the past with that too. I'm supposed to go back in less than 10 years back to Vega. Pickup has been arranged. Not only do you watch those goods, the flagship return in 2 months. So they're saying the Soltraxi will return in 2 months. Do not eat or drink. So I didn't know that. They said they do not eat or drink. But I know they barter in food. They grow food and they barter with other worlds for goods and services, because they told me in the past they grow food in exchange. But they say they do not eat or drink. We are your fuel. Then this is where it gets weird. They said, we are your fuel for the human race. We are your fuel for the human race. The only thing we've been talking about is solar and energy and the sun and light. So then I asked 3 things. I said, what does your flag or emblem look like for the nation? How do you survive without food or drink? Who is your leader? Thank you for answering my questions. Can you give me a history lesson of the homeworld? So they responded at 3:10. So, my last question was at 3:09. So they responded within less than a minute. And they said, the genetic changes, longer distance travel missions. So the reason for the food and drink is because of genetic changes. Now, one of the things that I did learn about the Lyrans a while back was that they have medical. There's a rule 8. It's not rule 8. There's law 18 and rule 18. I believe I have it right here in my ledger. The medical facility is, rule 18, not law 18, because that has to do with images. But Rule 18 is Innovative Scientific Medical Facility. Lyran race, life expectancy, 2,000 years. So they have advanced technology to keep you alive for 2,000 years in the physical body. So the genetic changes, longer distance travel missions. So then I had another slew of questions. I said, how do you reproduce? How will I eat or drink when I am picked up? Because I have to eat and drink. I'm not, I don't have that luxury of a Rule 18 medical facility. Does your methods of sustenance work for me as well? Am I allowed to tour your bases on the moon and in the ocean? Are you allowed to walk into my home and rest and relax and have conversation in person? So again, I'm hitting that hammer on that head. What races are considered your enemy and what races are considered friend? I know some of the answers to that, but I kind of want to hear it from the horse's mouth. You are our fuel for the human race. Sunlight, starlight. So that's what I asked. Is the sun a portal to other star systems? I know the answer to that. I want to see how they answer, though. I await your response. Thank you. They responded within 3 minutes. and they said, "It is our star and communication portal. There are other ways. We cannot cross over to you in a place of their own for a time. And to the wicked are the ways of the kings of its own specific characteristics. We, the defense of the airspace of the only thing here that the signs of Nicholas of Lyra, and protects the O Prince of the efforts of the attacks." They say, I didn't say it, they have been saying this, and they've been saying this for years. They say, and if you look behind me, they say that I'm a prince. They say I'm a prince of Lyra. I'm from the House of Kings, the House of Nicholas, the Kings of Light. That'd be really cool. I mean, I believe them. I don't know why, but I mean, I do. I've got enough proofs and weird things, and with all this stuff going on, it's just when you hear it, because I don't live like royalty. I don't feel like royalty. I don't feel, but they say I'm a prince. So this is what I asked: who exactly is trying to attack, and how do you stop the attacks? I am a prince, correct? I have been told I have been to Lyra many times. Is this correct? Are enemies trying to get me? What can I do to protect myself? Who exactly is the wicked? Are you saying sometime in the future you will be able to come to the surface of the earth? Do all Lyrans know who I am? And then at 3:35, 2 minutes later, they answered, yes. That's all they said. Ita. It means yes. So yes to all these questions, yes to, but maybe, I mean, who exactly is trying to attack? No, they didn't answer that. I'm a prince, correct? Well, they've told me that. So anyways, they said yes. And then I asked, how was I sent to Earth if I have a mother and father on the Earth? But they did tell me that last year. They did tell me that I was created 1,000 years before my body was created. So I was created on Lyra, and then I was sent here. How all that, the mechanics of that, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Do the nations of the earth know who I am? So I'm like thinking, because I know terrestrial, like we were kicked off the air last time. I know there are intelligences and they know that, I know that they know that I'm getting contact. But the question I have for them is, do these nations actually know who I am? If they are saying I'm not just like a contactee that, I got abducted, or, I'm not saying anything wrong with that, but I mean, I'm not your typical type of person. This is a very weird scenario. So I'm just curious, because I feel like I'm ducking and hiding. I mean, they got 3 ships around me, and I got reptilians threatening to kill me. I got all kinds of weird stuff going on. I said, I await your response. Thank you. So majority of that took place today, or in the last 72 hours. But definitely all that we just covered. It doesn't sound like a lot because we went through all that. But that's 11 pages since, 6 days ago when the last time we were on? Oh, here's that reptilian for those who didn't see it. That's that guy that they took out that was threatening me. He said, what did he say? He said that 2 Cremona decimation hands, because they blew up that moon. The fleet blew up that reptilian moon base. Kings, and was well aware, your time guaranteeing short. As soon as you sit in front of us in the real, meaning in the flesh, in the face to face. So they're not even vaporize me. They're going to take me and kill me in person. It's personal. But that guy bit the dust. So there sounds like there's others. This is an ongoing thing. Question is, what am I supposed to be doing here? Well, they told me a year ago that I'm supposed to go through this. I was actually supposed to go back to Lyra in August, but I missed going to Bermuda. I went through all that in episode 2. They told me I'm supposed to be here in this. This is the final age before the new age. It hasn't begun yet. This is the end of the final battle of kings, and now I have to go through it, and I have to live. And that's what I know with that. So we're caught up with just recent contact. I did show you those images. Yeah, you saw the moon base. You did see the one above the Earth. This is all within a week, and then the one back at the mainland. That and then of course, I'm gonna try. Well, they're supposed to be out here every night now. I'm gonna try to get a better image of those light ships. Now I know what I'm looking for. They're in threes. They're in a triangle formation around the perimeter of my house. I wouldn't think that they would be that low unless, like, there must be heavy duty threats. Like things must be turning up a notch to be. I've seen the warships fly over. They call them. There's light ships. There's light warships. They're all different types of craft. Those warships, they look like. You ever see those TR-3Bs that they talk about, like terrestrial secret space program kind of stuff, where it's like a triangle craft? Those aren't extraterrestrial. That's like our stuff. The Navy has it. But what the light warships actually look like are these elongated and really long, skinny arrow-shaped triangle, but really long, like almost like the Last Starfighter kind of deal, like really elongated, like, and very fast, and they fly in like 5 and 6, like look like darts or spearheads, pretty crazy. I had a sighting a year and a half ago, and they told me to open my eyes, and then when then I didn't know what they were talking about, and I was outside, and I looked up, and then they were like, it came over like it was a clear sky, like bullets. VJ says, I believe that activity is increasing all over. It's really been busy here. Yeah, that's what I kind of put my ear to the ground. That's what I'm hearing all over. Is there's been a lot of activity picking up all over the place. So maybe that's why everyone is on guard. I mean, I've never seen them that close before. I mean, I've seen them cruise by, not where they're stationed, not where they're like telling me, hey, we left 3 ships in a triangular perimeter around you to guard you because you're under threat, you know. So, what's going on in everyone else's world? I gotta take a drink real quick. Oh, I can't wait till they get those pictures in them. Like I get them blown up, like you can see on the wall. But what I do is, so, like, this is one of my manuscripts, and of course, you know, oh, I just opened it, but sometimes I get binary code that comes in, and then that's a real bitch to crack. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have to handwrite all the binary out, and then I have to actually plug it in, and then I have to get it in. It'll translate usually into sometimes Latin, sometimes it'll go into another set of code, and then like usually Latin, and then you have to translate it into English. So, or when you get things like this, in the beginning, it depends on the race too. So like races will send you, not everyone uses Latin. Latin is used a lot out there in the universe. A lot of binary is used. I would say the second closest thing to Latin, like as language with different races, is binary. 1s and 0s, excuse me. But it's so time consuming because I make sure, even if I can't assume anyone's making a mistake, but however they send it, I make sure it's exactly the way, so there's no mistranslation, because it's already hard enough. Because I've gotten symbols where I'll share some of that with you right now. I'll look for, and I'm gonna actually go into the older book, the where you'll get symbols, and to this day, some of the stuff I can't even decipher. Like AG vector 6, Betnitz, Con, Sol. That's the sun. Okay, so here's my translation. This is what I got from it. So AG, don't know. Vector, that's kind of like call sign, like vector 6. Betnitz, I would think that's the name of the ship. Con, I would think maybe a position, a location. Sol is the sun. Greater than, less than, 47 AU, 47 astronomical units over. So I'll get some things I won't. Like this. Don't know what this is. Has my initials, has AJT. Oh, there's a planet, by the way. Don't know what planet that is. And there's actually a base. I have this picture blown up. If you look at the top, it's hard to see on this one. But like that code, a lot of times like that's like a Morse at the bottom. But I can't decipher this. Some messages have just been missed in translation. Let's see, like this. I don't have enough data. I don't have enough data to understand this. Other than that could be a moon or a planet. Up 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 in the 11th hour, 11:10. But then greetings. You don't know who I am, but I have been watching you for some time. Do not be alarmed. You know, that was after the translation. I try to give you something like this. I can't. So you're saying maybe you could ask them what their definition of the word dream is. It could mean something different than what we think of it as part of sleep. Could be. I might ask them. I mean, I probably will ask them. There's not a lot of emotion. A lot of the races are pretty black and white and very. Every word has like almost like a deep pool meaning. Like, of course, every word is its own vocabulary definition and it means something. But when they speak, there's not a lot of filler. So when they say like your dream, they're like literally meaning your. So I take it as like I'm susceptible to an attack in my sleep. Because I have all these guards around me, so they're not getting me physically with the ships. So they could attack me in other ways, and a dream might be one of the ones where I'm unguarded, in a sense, or where they can, And so, I don't know. It's a lot to. I'm learning every day. I'm learning. I've come a long way, but there's so much stuff they have to tell me or teach me. It's a lot. It's really a lot. I gotta figure out how to really get some on my. I really gotta figure out how to make this thing more. What's the word? Viral, to where I can get a bigger audience. Again, I'm working on it. It's like today. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was not planning on getting contact. It just happened. So then I spent, a few hours. I'm playing catch up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get this done before I do a show tonight because I want to share this information. So I go through the process and I've showed you this, guys, before. There's my master list of contact. And what I started doing too is, I didn't show this to you guys. public access TV. I'm starting to do. This is my key ledger of like master keywords, stuff you're not gonna find in a dictionary. Um, Stuff like names of beings out there or the Iridian Council. All unless someone else is getting contact from the Iridian Council, but you're just not gonna find it. I'm also doing star charts where because I was thinking I got so many different images. I was thinking about doing a book of just images and all the races, and then um, it sounds like it's easy just to put all together, but as this builds, I have to be organized, and I'm at a point where I want to put like races with star systems because I've been sketching in my one book all the different star systems that I've made contact with because there's so many out there that I haven't, but I'm up in 29 or 30 races. So there's a place called the Aquatic System. It's called the K-Log System. I have no idea where the hell that is. That's all the information I got on it. It's called the K-Log System, Kailog, and it's an aquatic system. And I got a race. It looks like an amphibian, but I have no idea what solar system, what star system. I have no idea. I have no idea. That's all and then I haven't talked to him. It's been a year and a half or a year since I've talked to him. And again, I told you as we go through the year, there are windows that open and they close. Now, of course, my main points of contact are the Lyrans because they say I'm a prince and I come from Lyra, but I have all these other races that make contact. Some are friends, some are foes, some are they're not. They're just. But everyone wants to make contact. But we're in the spring and summer. We should be mostly good from here on out until we get to the late summer, early fall, and then you'll start to see some of these. It just seems like throughout the year, like the fall and winter, that dark stuff, it just drags on and on. Reptilians and grays and tall whites and insectoids and it's so dark and like they're threatening and there's always like or a lie or they're trying to mess with you and it feels like it's like come on summer, come on. I want some good guys. Where are all the good guys? But hey, we're in these times. What are you gonna do? I mean, I would have never thought when I was younger that I would have 3 ships guarding my house. 5 years ago I would have laughed at myself or my best friend or whoever would have been like, "You're nuts. There would be no 3 ships guarding you. I wouldn't have known a prince, really." But doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't. I don't get shocked. I mean, I just feel left out where I'm like, I wish I was already up there. I wish I was making a difference. I do have leadership skills, so maybe that's where it comes from. I just wish I could be touching the tech and figuring out who, what, and what we need to do. But I'm kind of like, they told me I'm preparing for the future, so I guess that's what I'm doing. My Latin every day. I'm learning. I started that a language program for the last week and a half. I've been doing that every day. Even though I'm writing in a lot of languages, mostly Latin, you would think I know a lot of words now from doing it and translating, but I don't know it fluently. But I'm starting to learn the proper pronunciations and sentences, how to word things. So, anyways, what I'll do is on the next episode, I'll have those images in. We'll go through that, and I'll do like a really close where we can go like window to window and go through the images. By then, I'll have this music thing figured out. My best friend sent me a little music. I like it. We'll probably use that as the intro. I'm gonna get some better lighting and better like a microphone or something that's a little better audio. I just got to figure out how to share. I think I need to share when we're live because we're in a lot of groups and stuff, but no one knows who I am, because even though have talked to, I've been on Coast, I've talked to Dr. Sala many times. He sent me his book. I mean, but I'm not one of those guys that are always out there trying to make a book and make money and everything. Like, I'm just doing this. So whatever this turns into, it turns into. I just want it to, because I'm getting contact. So like the world needs to. They told me I need to spread it, so I need to share this and get it out there. And some of this stuff out there is baloney. Like, some things are just so ridiculous. But who am I to judge, right? What if it's real? Maybe there are like green jellies and people are talking. I don't know, but I have no idea. I only know my stuff. What I say is, if you're making stuff up, I don't even know how you could do it. Like, it's one thing if you're like making stuff up to make a book or sci-fi, like you're making a show or something, like a movie, or you're writing a book, that's fantasy or whatever. But I wouldn't. This is bad karma if you were to be making. They're up there listening. They hear every word you say. They know what you're thinking and they know what you see. Everything is known, so it's pretty crazy stuff up there. But so we'll end it on this tonight. As soon as I get those images in, I will share, and then I'm sure contact's been through the roof. So I'm sure I'll try to see if I see them tonight. I'm sure they're going to be up there. I don't think they're going to be just guarding. The way it sounded like they're stationed here now, and after. When Julia saw that, and I said, "Holy!" It almost looked like the. Nah. Anyways, I'll save it. I got to get a better. I got to get this thing. I gotta get a better way. Money is not the reward. Survival of our existence is our reward. Keep our light shining. Yeah, like seriously, like. There's so much craziness out there in the world. People. I thought I've heard and seen a lot and it all, but. People put like, I guess if no one knew me, they would say this is nuts. This whole thing that I'm doing is nuts. But I'm not doing it. This is what how do you explain some of this stuff is instantaneous, and I have witnesses, so it's not like there's like premeditated or there's someone with all this money that they're like trying. Some of this stuff is so supernatural, say, or beyond any kind of tech, like beyond, it's crazy stuff. I'm still here though. They haven't taken me out yet. So, but I just want to go on board, hang out. Let's have some tea. Let's talk about this. What is it? What's the problem? The older we get, the crazier it gets too. If that's the case, then maybe that's why I'm so old in those pictures and I look crazy, like crazy old. They just get so nuts that I'm just like, obliterate the universe. No. Stay in the light, stay good, do the right thing, be a good person. There is a war out there, and I rather be with ones that are good, and not that dark stuff. That's crazy stuff. Hey JD, what's going on, man? You missed the pictures, man. You missed the pictures. But I'm gonna be getting those pictures actually in the mail soon. Since JD's on here, real quick, JD, check this out. I'm gonna show you a couple things. I am gonna show you a very cool thing. I was showing them. I got this all in the last like 72 hours. A lot of this stuff. I'll show you the moon base. This is a cool one. Oh, what's that say? Oh, driving home. It's hard to see. Hold on. The detail on this stuff is crazy. You see like the bridges, the tunnel. This is actually on our moon, and it's definitely, there's light. So I'm assuming that this is on the light side in a crater somewhere, or but see if I can get it a little bit bigger. Like I said, when I get the image, I got it blown up coming to me, and we'll be able to go every square inch of this thing, and it's just pretty massive. And of course, I got all those other images. We'll go over all that. Can't believe this dude. I'm glad they took that guy out. Oh my gosh, look at that thing. Thing is nasty. But the Lyrans took that guy out. At least I'm protected. So what are you gonna do, right? So I will let you know when episode 6 comes out. I'll get this uploaded, those pictures in. I'll be looking out tonight for those 3 light ships. They said they're going to be guarding me, and I got the proof, and I got the witnesses and the videos. So that's pretty crazy, all around the house. So that means the threats are nearby. Things are heating up out there, or things are getting closer. For them to be that low and that close, and the amount of contact in the last week, especially in the last 72 hours, something's hitting the fan somewhere. But in the meantime, thanks for watching the Lyran Connection, guys. I'm your host, Alexander John, and thanks for all your support, and like and share or whatever you got to do. But I got to get the word out. These are the real deals, and I don't know who's out there getting what, but heavy rotors coming. Just stay safe, guys.